Hi, Elaine here. Today I'll be sharing how to work with non-native content in Affinity Publisher. The content in question being text in Markdown format and PDF files. But why might I need to do that? Well, for every video I post on YouTube, I create a written tutorial to accompany it, and I post it to my blog at elainegiles.co.uk. To do that, I use an app called Ulysses, a writing tool. The native file format of which is Markdown. Markdown being a lightweight markup language designed to format plain text. It uses very simple syntax to create a structured document, making it easy for users to write and read in a format that can be converted to other formats. This is Ulysses, and this is the tutorial we'll be working with today. It's a one-click to publish this to my blog. Button at the top, it gives me a preview of what that post will look like on my blog, and all I need to do is hit the publish button. This one's already been published, hence the button says update, but it is that simple to make a blog post. And this is what that blog post looks like in Markdown format. So it is plain text, there's some hashes in there for headings, there's some code making text bold, and there's some code that will pull in the video itself to the final blog post. Luckily, it's also one click to export this content to a format that Affinity Publisher is able to work with, and that is PDF. Different button this time, but it's the same content in a very clean PDF format. And I do believe there are 10 pages in this, so that's the preview of it. All I need to do to actually export it is hit the export button and save it. If we now close that and open the PDF file, this is the output that has created. You'll notice there's no headers, no footers, no page numbers, nothing. It is literally just the content of the tutorial, which is exactly what I want. Because I want to be able to brand this content in the same way that I would content I create directly in Affinity Publisher. So now we've seen the PDF file, I will close that and we will head off into Affinity Publisher, where I have a starting point file. Let's have a look at what's in this file. Page 1 is a blank page for the cover. Page 2 is a blank page that's going to be the start of my tutorial content. Page 3 is a profile of me. Notice there are clickable hyperlinks in here to my YouTube channel, my blog, LinkedIn and Twitter. And finally, in terms of content pages, there is the back cover. In addition to those 4 content pages, I have 2 master pages. The first master page is completely blank. The second one contains the branding, which is a stripe down the left-hand side. There is a line at the bottom to separate the content from the footer. And then on the left-hand side, I have the title of the file. On the right-hand side, I have a page number. If you're wondering about this title of the file, that is actually coming from a custom field. In my fields panel, I've created a custom field called title, and I've put the title in there. Benefit of that is that I only have to remember to change the title in one location should I decide to change the title. And that is the file that we'll be working with. Moving across to page 1, which is the cover page. There are several ways to achieve what we're looking for, so I have 2 PDF files. The first of these is the cover. If I go to File and then Place, choose the cover and click Open, it will load that in. My mouse pointer has changed, a different style of pointer and a down-facing arrow. Should I click now, it will add the content of that PDF file where I click. As you can see, it's a bit on the big side. So if I zoom out, you can actually see the edges of that. It is A4, so let's scoot it down and make it fit the page. That is the first way of doing it. Now, if I do it that way, I've brought a PDF in, and in the event that I have multiple pages in that PDF, I'm able to choose which page to display using the spread drop-down. This file only has 1 page in it, it's just the cover. But if I had multiple pages, that's something to bear in mind. But problem with that is, if we were doing that multiple times, you would drive yourself mad. And while there is always the option of drawing it out by hand, rather than single clicking, it's still more work than you need to do. There is a better option. Because we know the size that we want this, which is the full size of the page, if I go across to my Tools panel and I choose the picture frame and I draw out a picture frame, and I'm just going to make sure that we can see that with the preview, I can repeat exactly the same process up to File, down to Place, choose the cover file and click Open. But this time it knows exactly where to put it, which is inside the picture frame, and because of that I don't need to take the time to rescale it. There is one huge difference here, which is if you look at the context sensitive toolbar at this stage, you are unable to change the pages. It doesn't make a difference with this one, there is only one page in the file. Just something to be aware of. Moving to page 2, and this is where we're going to start putting the tutorial content. Now, we've ruled out File Place without a picture frame, because if we did it that way, we'd need to scale every page. You could add a picture frame and then add each page manually, but that way, madness lies. While you might be able to with 10 pages, imagine something with 100 or 200 pages. So how about an automatic way to add all the pages of content you need and have Affinity Publisher add those pages without you having to do it manually? That's definitely the way to go. And here's how. So remember, we're on page 2. This is where the tutorial content is going. With the picture frame selected, I'm drawing out another frame. But it's critical at this point that I deselect it. It's important or it won't work correctly. You're probably wondering why it's so important. Well, let's see what happens if we don't deselect it. Up to File and down to Place. This time choosing the tutorial content that we know has 10 pages and opening it. And it has done exactly what we wanted for the cover, which is it's brought the PDF file in, it's used page 1 and it's scaled correctly. But because we used a picture frame, I am not able to change the page in there, and there's the slight matter of the other 9 that are missing. So remember what I was saying. Let's delete that. Let's go and add a picture frame and deselect it before we do anything else. Just literally clicking away. You could activate the Move tool if you wanted, it really doesn't matter. Now going up to File and Place, choosing the tutorial again and opening that, we have an extra panel. This is the Place panel. You can see at the top it has the title of the PDF file and it is showing page 1. Underneath the thumbnail, we have an option to see all of the pages in that file. So if this was a range of covers, for instance, and I wanted to use cover 6, I could choose that in here. As I move over the picture frame, I get a preview of what that's going to look like if I were to click. But we don't want to do that. That would just bring in a single page. So let's go back over here to our Place panel. We can do even better than that. This time I'm going to unfurl the page list and see the thumbnails of all the pages, all 10 of them. Better still, you are able to select multiple pages in here. Either a range of pages by clicking the first one, holding the Shift key down and clicking the last one, or if we go back to page 1 and hold the Command key down instead, you can select any pages you like. Obviously, I want to select them all. So making sure I've got the first one selected, scrolling down, holding the Shift key and clicking the last one. If I were to hover over my picture frame again, I get a preview and it's page 1. But click and the autofill magic happens. Affinity Publisher will add as many pages as needed to accommodate all the pages you selected in the Place panel. One simple click. Pages panel has updated. You can now see this document has got 13 pages, which was the original 4, one of which was for the tutorial, and it's added in all the content of my PDF. So this is my page 2, this is my page 3, and so forth. At this stage, I've got the content in it. Can't really work much faster than that, can you? But I need to apply the branding. So pages 2 all the way through to the profile, need to be selected. I click the first one, held the Shift key down, click the last one. Right-clicking on that and choosing Apply Master. And at the moment it's got the blank master applied, but that's not the one I want. I want the branding master. You can see it's going to apply to specific pages, 2 to 12. I do want it to replace the existing and click OK. And it's finished. But I want to show you a couple of things first. I mentioned on the profile that these were clickable links. These are native clickable links. They were created inside Affinity Publisher. But if I look at some of the content of the other pages, what's the betting? I can't find one now. I'm sure it'll be on the last page. Let's go to the last page. Right, this PDF had clickable links of its own already. So what we now need to do is to export this entire file as a PDF and make sure that the native links are working and the links inside the tutorial PDF are also working. Up to File and down to Export. In the export dialog, you need to choose PDF. That's a great starting point. But you have to be very careful in here if you want clickable links. There are a range of presets of various qualities. You can see that this top one is PDF for print. Then we have press ready and we've got digital and export and all kinds of options. I even have 2 custom ones that I use for different print services. Now, if I leave this set to for print, I will not get clickable hyperlinks. How do I know that? If we scroll down and look in the advanced section, there's a whole range of options. And the one in question is include hyperlinks. There's also the option to include bookmarks. But I haven't got any of those in this file. But hyperlinks I certainly have. One option would be to put a tick in the box. A better option is to make sure from the presets that I choose one of the digital outputs. A small size, high quality, whatever. Now I tend to go for high quality. I have a completely different way of controlling the file size. But just choosing that different preset from the drop down, we go down to the advanced section, you can now see that automatically there is a tick in the include hyperlinks, the include bookmarks, and a range of other options. That is the best way to make sure that you do have clickable hyperlinks. So I'm going to click export and export this. Name doesn't matter, it's a demonstration, but I will leave it at tutorial. Let's open that file and have a look. So first of all, we have all our pages. There was 13 pages. The hyperlinks were on pages 11 and 12. So first of all, on 12, these are the ones that were created natively inside Affinity Publisher. And you can see as I hover over them, it shows you the destination URL. Moving back to page 11, and these were not created in Affinity Publisher. These links came from Markdown inside Ulysses via a PDF. It was a long journey. But if I hover over there, you can see that they are also clickable links. And there's a bonus. In true Apple style, there's one more thing, which is just a different way to achieve exactly the same thing. For this, I'm going to create a new file. It looks like this has got 3 pages in it, so I'm going to delete 2 pages. I only need 1. And to show you that if I had a picture frame on that first page, there is an alternative to going to File Place, which is this option in the tool panel, which is the Place tool. It takes me out to my file system, so it does exactly the same as File Place from the menu. I have the tutorial selected. I'm going to click Open on that, and it loads in page 1. Where are the rest? Ah, I didn't deselect, did I? So undo that, click away from that picture frame, go back to the Place tool, choose the tutorial again, click Open, and that will give me my Place panel from where I can choose a range of pages or I can choose all of the pages. And as I click, you will see that I had 1 page, now I've got 10, it's created everything I need. So it does exactly the same thing, but if you're not a menu person, if you are a tool person, then there is a tool for that. And that is how to work effectively with non-native content in Affinity Publisher. Let's have a quick recap. The non-native content that I used was Markdown and PDF files. My Markdown came from Ulysses, but any Markdown editor or any text editor can edit Markdown. I exported that Markdown to PDF, and then there was File Place with no picture frame. And the problem with that was it gave us scaling issues. We had to manually scale the imports. You can use File Place with a picture frame. The issue with that is it places a single page. But if you create a picture frame and you deselect that picture frame before you use File Place, it will autofill all your pages. The branding came from a master page, and then finally I exported to PDF using a digital output option to ensure that my hyperlinks remained clickable. If you want new tutorials and tips and tricks on a regular basis, check out my free training at elainegiles.com/VIP. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss future tutorials. And if you have any requests for specific tutorials, be sure to contact me. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching and see you next time.